This is it though. This is literally like what I would call the secret sauce. When I had to sit down and figure out what it was that allowed me to live with, at one point in time, 19 dogs, and have them all be just good dogs, have them all be dogs that I could take places, that I could walk, that people could come and see. They liked other dogs. They liked people. They didn't like try to kill my barn cats. Okay, except for that one. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, they were all really, really good dogs. When I had to sit down and think about it, I knew I wasn't training them. I didn't have time to train them. Ah, yes, the 19 untrained, just good dogs that I had. How did I do it? Well, today I am diving into giving you the simplest version of how to recreate that, how to have just good dogs, the secret sauce that makes your dog want to follow you without more training. I am divulging it all today inside the podcast. This is part 2. I hope you enjoy. Let's get into it. Ready to have a calm and peaceful life with your dog without the stress of those fear-based behaviors? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been there, overwhelmed by all the conflicting dog training advice and unsure of what to do next. But now I help dog lovers like you simplify your life with your dog by building confidence naturally, fostering trust, and addressing those fear-based challenges. So, if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners and let's get to it. Hey there, friend. Do you ever feel like your dog is just, wired a little differently? Like no matter what training you've tried, they're still skittish, stubborn, or reactive? Well, that's because your dog has a unique doginality. Yes, that is a thing. And I created a free doginality quiz to help you better understand how your dog thinks, feels, and learns. It's fun, it's quick, and the insights might just change everything about how you live and love your dog. So go take that quiz right now at beyondobedience.ca/quiz and be sure to tell me what you got inside the Facebook group. I'll see you there. Well, hello, my dog-loving friend. It's Tracy. Welcome to Beyond Obedience. All right, we're getting into the good stuff. We're going to jump right in. We're getting into the good stuff. If you missed the last podcast, go back. Go back and listen to it. Last podcast, we were talking about the idea that maybe for some of us, not mentioning any names or putting my hand up in the air right now because no one can hear me or no one can see me because this is a podcast. Some of us may not really like to do the training. They may not really want to do the repetitions, and maybe they are ready to confess. And I mentioned that if you don't like it, if it's not your thing, if you're like, ugh, do I have to go and do the training? Oh, you can't fake it till you make it. Dogs will call you out. If you don't like it, your dog's not going to like it. It's not going to be any fun. Nobody's going to want to do it. And then you're not going to do it. Right? Like I mentioned in the previous podcast, dog training has got to be like a lifestyle for you. You got to integrate it into your day in a way that makes sense to you, that is just how you want to do it. But if you're like, I still don't want to do it, I get you. So today I'm actually going to give you the secret sauce. This is it. This is the only podcast. This is the only episode you need. No. This is it though. This is literally like what I would call the secret sauce. When I had to sit down and figure out what it was that allowed me to live with, at one point in time, 19 dogs, and have them all be just good dogs, have them all be dogs that I could take places, that I could walk, that people could come and see. They liked other dogs. They liked people. They didn't like try to kill my barn cats. Okay, except for that one. But you know what I'm saying. Anyway, they were all really, really good dogs. When I had to sit down and think about it, I knew I wasn't training them. I didn't have time to train them. Back in that day when I had the 19 dogs, I was running a brick and mortar version of Beyond Obedience. Shout out to all of my OGs from Ontario. Holla. Um, but I was doing a brick and mortar business, and I was bad at it because I was trying to do it all myself. I should have got more help, yada, yada, yada. I digress. The point is, I was doing boarding and daycare and grooming. Did you know that I also did grooming? I did grooming, friends. I was also a dog groomer. Wasn't fancy dog grooming, I will say that. Like, it was like meat and potatoes grooming. I got the dogs that was like the other groomers were like, I don't want to do that dog. I got those dogs because it was like I incorporated my methodologies into helping dogs that struggle with grooming. But the point is, I did boarding, daycare, grooming, training, pack walks, and socialization. And for the majority of my time at that business, I had very little help besides my family. I had a few employees, but I wasn't great at it. I wasn't great at the business part of it, if I'm being honest. I'm really great with dogs. I wasn't great with the business part of it. But my whole point was this. I didn't have time to train my own dogs. I didn't have time to train. I didn't think like I was out there, training everyone else's dogs and hanging out with everyone else's dogs. And then in the evenings, training my own dogs. No, I wasn't. Right. So, and this is where the story of, the reality hit me, where when I was teaching other people how to do the training, teaching them how to walk dogs on leash well and how to teach them how to place and sit and down and all of those things, I realized I wasn't doing any of those things with my dogs. And yet I had a bunch of just good dogs. So when I sat down and I was like, what is it? Like, what is it that I'm doing then? Because it can't be luck, right? One or two just good dogs, you're like, oh, okay, well, you got lucky. Because, who's kidding who? There's some easy dogs. There are some dogs that are easier than others, right? But after you get up into double digits, you know what I'm saying? Like double digit dogs, and you're like, okay, some of this might not be luck. Some of this might be stuff that I'm doing. And that's what I want to share with you. It's this lifestyle thing, the lifestyle of living with dogs. So if someone were to say to me, Tracy, what's the secret to it? The very first secret to it is going to be the secret sauce of leadership. Okay. Because if you haven't heard, I have my foundation of relationship. The first foundation block is leadership. The second one is relevance. The third one is fulfillment. That's my foundation of relationship, how to build an incredible relationship with your dog. But here's the secret sauce to leadership. There's a lot of components to leadership, but if I had to narrow it down to one thing that I thoroughly want people to understand if they want this life of ease with their dogs, is the understanding that every single interaction is a conversation, and your dog is always listening. Every single interaction is a conversation, and your dog is always listening. Now, for my multi-dog households, this is amplified. And I mean amplified, because not only is the interaction that you're currently having with the dog in front of you going on, but the observation of your interaction with that dog by the other dogs is also happening. So every single thing you do, you may not be quote unquote training, but you're always teaching. You're teaching the dogs how you expect them to respond. You're teaching them how they can get away with things. You're teaching them, okay, if I don't come back when I'm called the first time, she'll call me again 17 more times. You're constantly teaching them. This is an observation. And that's why leadership is not a training session. It's a lifestyle. I'm going to say it again. Let's say it in again. Leadership is a lifestyle. I don't know why. If you could see this, I should start recording these because I'm kind of dancing. It's a lifestyle. And I'm doing like a little... Anyway, I'm glad I'm not videoing. Okay, so a little bit of a nudge then to help you out. If you have not heard or have not figured out the Leadership Scorecard, You've heard me say that. I have to preface the scorecard a little bit because some of you are competitive and you're just like, I get it. I have to get all the points and the dogs get none. No, 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 no. This scorecard isn't that way. The scorecard is for your awareness. That's what the scorecard is for. It's not meant for you to be like keeping score. I know. I'm looking at some of you because you're like me. You're competitive. You're like, I will win this game. That's not what it's about. But if you haven't heard about the leadership scorecard, it is literally just this. Every single time you do something for your dog, was it my idea and the dog followed through? Or was it the dog's idea and I followed through? That's it. Simple. There's no perfect scorecard. But you need to start asking yourself, if you have a dog that's blowing you off, that's not listening to you, that's not coming when they're called and whatnot, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to check that leadership scorecard. You're going to be like, okay, when I got up and let the dog out, was that my idea or the dog's idea? When I went over and pet that dog, was that my idea or the dog's idea? When I went over and got that thing that the dog's not supposed to have and took that from it, was that my idea or the dog's idea? Right? You're going to have to keep asking yourself that because all of these things are conversations. Your dog is offering up a behavior, offering up something, and they're saying, how do you feel about that? And a lot of this stuff, if I'm being honest and real, a lot of it's just yes or no questions, right? If I do this, how do you feel about it? If I jump up on you, how do you feel about it? And the sad thing is, and this is where the confusion comes in. Let's talk about jumping up for a second. This is where the confusion comes in. Because if you're wearing your old jeans and you just came in from outside and you don't really care and your little dog jumps up on you, you're going to be like, oh, hey, buddy. You're going to be like, that's lovely. But if you're in your brand new suit, your freshly pressed white linen pants and your little dog jumps up on you with muddy paws, you're going to freak out and lose your poop. And that's when the dog goes, wait a minute. You said it's fine to jump up on you. I asked, you said, okay, right? All of the interactions, every single interaction is part of a conversation. It's part of teaching and it's part of the dog gathering intel on how they are supposed to live with a different species. So you just need, this is the secret sauce. You need to be more intentional about how you move through the day. And you have to think about it in the ways that dogs think about things. How do dogs think about things? I'm glad you asked because that's going to move into the secret sauce of relevance. Okay? Dogs are rooted in survival. This is pause for effect. Dogs are rooted in survival. We are rooted in convenience, right? We've lost our survival instincts. We don't know what it's like to survive anymore. We don't have the same instincts anymore, but dogs still do. They still, everything that they do is based on survival. What are relevance to a dog's survival cues are food, shelter, safety, and belonging to a group, right? They're a social species. So when we talk about relevance, we need to look at relevance from the dog's point of view, not our point of view, the dog's point of view. And believe it or not, when I say this, treats that come from your training pouch do not count as relevance. I know some dog trainers are going to be like, oh, what? That's not true. Say it's not true. It is true. It is true. The treats that come from your pocket are training the dog. But it's not rooted in survival. It's not rooted in relevance. Even for those that, maybe you can argue me. You can fight me on this if you're a trainer. Maybe you can argue with me about the whole nothing in life for free aspect, that the dogs learn to work for all their food. Maybe then. Because you're getting them to work for their food. That's sort of rooted in survival. I'll give you that. But that's the extremists that are like, those are the trainers that are working the Malinois. Those dogs aren't really dogs. Like Those dogs, you have to be a trainer to have a Malinois. I'm just going to put that out there. You have to be one. But for the rest of us that don't have Malinois, that aren't doing the Nothing in Life for Free program, where your dog has to work for every single morsel and scrap of food they get, for us, food that's in a food dish doesn't make you relevant. Treats in your treat pouch doesn't make you relevant. Does it make you popular? Sure. Make you popular. There's no other threats around. Sure. You'll have a dog that follows you and does stuff for you because you've got food in your pocket, but that does not make you relevant, right? The safety, that's a big one. Does my dog feel safe in my presence? Or are they insecure around me? Because I haven't noticed threats, because I didn't see, the threat around the corner. I didn't smell that dog a block and a half away. Hard for us to be relevant about safety when it comes to stuff like that. And then belonging to a group, feeling like they're part of a group. Dogs are social creatures, so being social is important to them. Okay, so how do we build up our relevance naturally? Well, you can't just throw your food in a bowl and walk away, right? Here's an idea. You have to move together, hunt together, rest together, go out and find some food together. Now that can be prefabricated by you. You can go out and do a little scent trail. You can go and do a little, put some food out and then go and find it together, search and seek it together, rest together, be with. You haven't heard me talk about be with, just be with your dog. All of that matters, because if we remember my quote from Dr. Bruce Fogle from A Dog's Mind, a dog doesn't expect to be treated like a human. A dog expects a human to act like a dog. Always that quote has been like my favorite quote for so many years, because it's such a simple quote, but it's so important to understand that dogs do not expect you to treat them like furry little babies. They really don't. They do expect you to act like a dog. They don't know anything else. They expect you to act like a dog. So your dog isn't really asking for treats and praise. Yes, that's great for training them, but they're asking for you to be someone that they can understand. All right. Relevance isn't about being fun or even being nice. It's about being biologically and emotionally meaningful to your dog. Biologically and emotionally meaningful to your dog. And how can we be meaningful to our dog? How can we build more relevance? One of the ways is with fulfillment. That last and final foundation of relationship block, fulfillment, because fulfillment is not the same as exercise. Doing exercise for the sake of doing exercise is just going to give you an athletic, bored dog. Okay? If the exercise you're giving your dog is not part of their fulfillment, you're just going to make them more athletic. That's it. So you've heard me say this before, but I'm going to say it again. And if you've heard it before, say it in the back. What is the secret sauce of fulfillment? Do you have any idea? I've said it like, I don't know how many times. I said it a lot. The secret sauce of fulfillment is that you have to be a part of it. That's it. Simple. You have to be a part of it. That's it. Right? So, and being a part of it doesn't mean I'm the arm that's throwing the ball. That's not the same thing. If you can replace you with an automatic machine that will throw a ball, it's not the same thing. You're not getting the same thing. All right. Your dog's fulfillment factor might actually be digging. Anyone see the video I posted of Nike digging in that tire? Oh man, if you haven't seen it, I think I put it. Did I put it in Living Beyond Obedience, or did I put it on my own page? Anyway, I was like, get in there. Like, get in there. You can dig with them. Now, one day, if we're sitting having coffee, remind me to tell you about the time that I tried to help my other Jack Russell. and it backfired on me. But my point is, you got to be a part of it. Sniffing. And you're going to say to me, I'm not sniffing things, Tracy. I'm not going around sniffing things. You don't necessarily have to sniff it, but go see. Go see. What are they looking at? What are you sniffing? What are you doing? What are you digging at? Right? Herding. Herding, believe it or not, is a team sport. I've mentioned this before. If you have an opportunity to actually learn how to herd, if you've got a herding breed and you can learn how to herd, it's the ultimate in partnership and fulfillment. And when you get to see them do the things that they love to do and you're a part of it, the bonus of it is delighting in the things they're doing. And then they just have this deep connection with you because you're delighted. And dogs love it when we're happy, right? I've mentioned it before too. The other big one for me is agility. Like if you have a dog that can do some agility stuff, that's ultimate teamwork as well. That's you being a part of it. You have to run that course too. Like some dogs might be able to do it without you, but for us beginners, the dog needs you to be there. They need you for the direction. They need you to be a part of it. That is a part of their fulfillment, right? They get to do the things that they want to do. So if you're not included in the activity, then it's a distraction, right? Not fulfillment. So you need to be a part of it. So you got to ask yourself, is this activity scratching my dog's natural itch? And am I a part of it? And how can I be a part of it? And you want to know something? Be weird about it. Get dirty. Get dirty. Dig in some stuff. Put your hands on the earth again. It's probably great for us. Someone's going to come back and be like, what about the tapeworms? Never mind about that. Never mind about that. Just get in there. All right. So that's the secret sauce, my friend. Foundation of relationship, leadership, relevance, and fulfillment. And the key to leadership, the secret sauce of leadership, is that you need to understand everything you do, every single step, every single thing you do. When I wake up in the morning and I walk to the bathroom to brush my teeth, what if I decide to go around my dog or move my dog out of my space is how I start the day. That's my first tip to you. When I get up in the morning and I get out of bed and my dogs are lying in my way, if I ask them to move, that sets a different tone than if I go around them and not ask them to move out of my space. That's what I'm talking about. That's the difference. Are you someone that's going around your dog or asking them to move out of your space? Are you someone that's calling them to you for affection? Or are you someone that's just allowing the dog to dictate things? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And if you want some more help sort of digging through that, I can help you with that. Then relevance. How can we be relevant to a dog? Remember that it's rooted in survival. You don't get points just for putting food in a bowl, right? You don't get points because you paid the mortgage. I know you think you do. If you live under my roof, you have to go by my rules. You don't get points for that. That doesn't make you relevant. And then finally, fulfillment. Oh, you got to be a part of it, friends. You got to get weird. You got to get dirty. You got to hang out with your dog. You got to see what they're doing. You got to revel in how brilliant they are and watch the change in your relationship. Watch the change in your relationship. That is the secret sauce. That is what I was doing when I was a little girl and I was playing with my German shepherds. I would just delight in everything that they did, and we had grand adventures together, and they were everything. They were my best friends. They were everything. And that's why I created these crazy bonds with dogs and these crazy connections with dogs. And that's it. So wrap up thought. You don't need to look like a trainer if you don't want to, right? You just need to lead like somebody worth following. That's it. That's it. It's made up of the smallest moments, the daily choices, the walk with me energy, the I've got this presence. That's all it is. You're already communicating. All right. So now we just have to make sure that you're saying the right thing. And that's it. All right. If you need help with that, where are you going to go? First of all, you're going to go to the Fearless Framework. Why are we not already together doing this together, you and I? Why are you not a part of that incredible community? We have so much fun in that program. I'm telling you, you will love it. The most supportive, incredible community ever. And we learn a lot from each other. We share all the things. You will love it. I need you in there. If this is something that you are like, this is what I want for me and my dog, then you need to go to beyondobedience.ca/fearless. Sign up today. As I've mentioned before, bonuses for signing up right now. One of the bonuses, I'm almost scared to say out loud, but one of the bonuses right now, which will not be there past the end of this month. So in June, once June is done, meaning July 1st, this offer is off the table. Anybody that joins in June will get, I know, I'm hoping that my mentor doesn't hear me say this because she's like, never do this, but lifetime access. You will get lifetime access. You'll get lifetime access. Moving forward, the program is going to change to limited access, right? Like, I don't know, 6 months, a year, that kind of thing. But right now, for those of you that are inside the program, you get to be my lifers. You get to do this journey. You know what that means? That means not only do you get help with this dog, but if you get a puppy, you get help with the puppy. Like, I was told never to do this. But I just love the people right now. Part of me is being selfish, if I'm being honest. Part of me is being selfish. It's because I don't want to leave the people. Like, I want them in my group, right? When she talked about that, she was like, really, you should be putting a timeline on that. Like, people, so right now, that's it. That's probably one of the biggest bonuses. Can you imagine the value of that? You can't even calculate it. This is why now I'm starting to talk myself out of it, but I've said it. So it's done. It's done. After this though, it'll be a certain time limit program. And then after that, there'd be options to join as an alumni. I don't know. I'm just talking out loud. The point is, join now. Join the fun in the program. All right. I think that's it. Listen, if you liked this type of thing, be sure to give us a 5-star written review on Apple. Really helps to push the podcast out. Share this with your friends. Tell them to get inside the Fearless Framework with you. Like, get a friend. Join with your friend. Like, let's do it together. As always, I want you to get out there today, my friend, and be the person that your dog thinks you are, because your dog thinks that you are amazing. And so do I. Have a fantastic day. I will see you in the next episode. Bye for now. Oh, and one more thing. This podcast is meant for entertainment and education purposes only and is not meant to replace hands-on professional training. If you're really struggling with your dog, please reach out to a professional in your area. All right, I think that's it. Bye for now.